Alright, we're going to make pot pie, chicken pot pie to be more specific, but you can probably put whatever kind of meat you want into it. I start with sliced up carrots and diced potatoes. You can do however big or small, depends on what size chunks you like in your pot pie. I cook all the fillings beforehand, so it doesn't matter if you do big chunks or little chunks. So I put a little bit of olive oil, mix it up here. Do just a little sprinkle of salt and a little bit of pepper. You can always add more after the pot pie is cooked, so I always take it a little easy on the salt and pepper. Some of my family doesn't like things super seasoned. So we've got it all nice and coated in the olive oil. So I'll put it on the cookie sheet. And I do the potatoes and carrots together. They take about the same amount of time. So I'll roast these for about 20-30 minutes at 400 degrees. And then we will add the rest of the fillings. Alright, so now we're making the sauce to go in the pot pie. I've melted half a cup of butter into the pan. We're going to add half a cup of flour. And give that a minute or so to cook. And we'll whisk it. Make sure the flour is all the way absorbed into the butter. Got some sage to go in there. So for the liquid, I'm going to use my homemade chicken broth, but you can use whatever kind of broth you want. When I make this vegetarian, I use the fried chick, and I use the liquid from in the fried chick can. Just add water to it to the consistency that I need. I want this to be a little bit liquidy because otherwise it gets in there with the potatoes and carrots and will become too solid. So you don't want it to be quite as thick as like gravy. Okay, so this is about the consistency that you want for the sauce. You can see it's slightly thickened, but still pretty runny. Be runny enough to get between all the pieces of potato and carrot and chicken and whatnot. So now I'll just set this aside to simmer while we get the rest of the fillings ready. Okay, so the potatoes and carrots are done roasting, and I just use a bag of frozen peas. Don't even bother defrosting them or anything. I just put them in frozen because they're going to defrost, hitting all these hot vegetables and then the hot gravy. So, and then I have my chicken here, and this is from a chicken that I roasted and used to make the chicken broth. It's about 6 cups of cut up chicken. Really kind of depends on what size of chicken. and how much my kids snacked on it while I was trying to debone it. So, get this all mixed up. And again, you can use whatever kind of meat you want. I use fried chick sometimes for a vegetarian option, and just use the fried chick sauce in the can to make the gravy with, and it tastes good, I think. Really, it's just a combination of all the flavors that makes it good. Alright, so now we've got this. Alright, so now we pour the gravy in. Now when I do this, I do enough for 2 pies, because we eat one, and then I put the other one in the freezer uncooked to cook for later. And they freeze very well and cook up just the same as they do fresh. I've got this all mixed up here. Doesn't take a whole lot. Just want to make sure all the pieces are distributed evenly. Okay, so now we've got the filling ready. And I've got my pie crust all ready here. When I make my pie crust, I add a little bit of Italian seasoning to give the crust a little more savory taste. Okay, so now we put about half the filling into the first pie. I'm going to get it down, kind of push it down into all the corners, edges. And these pies will very easily feed 4 to 6 people, even more if, you know, if some of them are kids. I like to fill mine very full. And the filling doesn't shrink a whole lot when it cooks, because I have all the fillings cooked before they go in here, all the vegetables, so there's really not any shrinkage. There we go. And you know, you can use other vegetables too if you like. Really kind of whatever your family likes. Got the top crust on here. Isaac. Okay, and then I seal the edges all the way around here. I'm going to get the edges squeezed together for the bottom and top crust really well, so that the gravy doesn't ooze out while it's cooking. Off the edges. Extra pie down here. Go. And then make some slit marks in the top here for the steam to escape. Now it's ready to go in the oven for 350 degrees, at 350 degrees for about 30 to 45 minutes. You want the crust to be golden and the filling to be bubbly. And if you're cooking it from frozen, you want to reduce it to about 325 and cook it for more like 45 minutes to 60 minutes so the filling gets hot all the way through.